Morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Yes, how is everyone doing? I just want to wish everyone a wonderful Monday, a marvelous Monday.
Yeah,
It's Monday, the 4th of March.
already.
Yeah, 2024, and we just want to wish everyone a wonderful day. So, there are a number of things that we can discuss because the weekend has been a very busy one as it relates to debate and the like. So, before we get into that, though, I before we started the program, we want to tell you that you can view us on it's YouTube, it's Facebook, it's also Twitch and the website page of WinFM in addition to channel 40 on the cable. So you can view us on those platforms. I remember we were discussing about something this morning, and we looked at our tea, and we look at our tea bag, and attached to the tea bag there is a message. So my message says, plant kindness and gather love. Plant kindness and gather love. What about you,
I
Kortensia?
like that tea bag. It always has something about a plant because the last one I spoke about was the flowers and the weeds. But my little quote came from a fortune cookie, and it says, "For the things we have to learn before we can do them, we learn by doing them." And we all know that. We learned something and we got better at it by continued practice and working at the skill. So whatever you're working on today, continue to do it. And trust me, you will one day get better at it.
So you want to tell them what guests we have this morning?
Oh, yes, indeed. We have Miss Latoya Duncan. And Miss Duncan comes from the Nutrition Surveillance Program Health Promotion Unit as today's International Obesity Day. Folks, all of us are a little, I don't want to say round around the waist, but I just said it. But we need to get our exercise on. Trust me, all of us, and Miss Duncan will be on at 9. All of us are missing something. I know on days we don't want to cook and we go and we get our fast food, but the fast food tastes so good that we go again, and it's becoming a habit. So we have to curb some of our habits and do better and keep our BMIs under 30, because once it goes between 25 and 30, obesity starts showing up. So for all of us to ensure that we live healthy lives, keep those NCDs at bay, we have to control our obesity levels.
Yes, and so you really have to watch what you eat. You also have to make sure that you exercise as much as possible.
Oh boy,
You
that
know?
makes me feel bad. Oh boy.
In addition to that, you realize that when you look at the statistics and you look at per capita, St. Kitts and Nevis really is not doesn't have the best stats when it comes
Oh
to,
boy.
the obesity category, because we're really high on the list with one of the most obese countries per capita. Yeah, if you do the
Wow.
research, you'll see.
And it says
Mhm.
that obesity has tripled since 1975, and by between 2020 and 2035, at least 100% of the children I see and adolescents are expected to be in the obese category, and that's sad.
Yeah,
I know
Mhm.
almost all the snacks that we give our kids are not good, but the kids like their snacks. And the tray ladies out there, we give them allowances and they buy all these things. And then when they're home again, they're eating bad snacks.
Yeah, there's some when I know of some schools, especially at early age, where it is that the children they encourage to bring fruits instead of these snacks to school for their snacks, and it's really something that persons have to take into consideration, especially parents, because parents really control what their children eat because children don't have the money.
No,
You understand?
the
They
parents
don't
buying
work.
it. But
Yes.
the good things that are good are extremely expensive, and not all of our parents work for decent salaries. So they buy what their monies can afford.
Hmm.
And sometimes what the monies can afford is just laced with sugar and every bad
Mhm.
thing, MSG
Yeah.
and every bad thing for the child.
Yes. But then when you look at the supermarket, I was just browsing around the supermarket, and I see like cookies like Oreos, and so those small packs, almost up to $20. And when you say that, my mind went to that, and you could get maybe an orange for less than that. You could get a bag of tangerines, the smaller tangerines. I've seen them before the inflation period.
Mhm.
I saw them in the supermarket for about $19-20 also, and you get a whole bag. I don't know how much
and
it is
can
right
go,
now.
It can go it can go away.
What do you mean?
No, like it can last from Monday to Friday.
Yeah,
Okay.
you had a couple in there. I haven't
Okay.
seen them. I haven't seen them in a while, and I don't know how much the price is now.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me make that disclaimer. But I mean, again, it's what you eat, and we are what we eat. So we must be careful of what we put into our bodies.
Yeah.
In addition to that, we have at 8:30 traffic talk, and so those persons, I know, is a very favored program segment of the program where persons listen to what the officers have to say from the traffic department. And so we welcome you at 8:30 to join us for traffic talk. In addition to that, we've had some news over the week. Remember when before we broke for the weekend, we were talking about the number of debates that are being held here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And so, there was the postgraduate inter-campus debate competition. And there's the global campus, which is all the open campuses.
Yeah.
There is the Mona campus, which is stationed in Jamaica. There's the Cayfield campus in Barbados. St. Augustine in Trinidad and Tobago.
But they didn't participate, though.
No, they didn't participate. And there's the 5 campus, I think that's what.
5 Island.
5 Island, yes, sorry. Yes, 5 Island in Antigua. And so of the 5 campuses, 3 participated. The 5 Island campus in Antigua had a representative that stated that she came to view the competition and to encourage, when she goes back, the participation of the 5 Island in the competition.
For the next one.
Yeah, for the next one. St. Augustine, by whatever means or reasons, did not participate this year.
They weren't able to.
But there were 3 campuses that participated, and there was Mona, the Global, and Cayfield. And Mona was declared the champion
so
of the
congratulations
debate.
to Mona.
Yes. So Cayfield came second, and Global Campus came third.
So both of your alumni is placed. So you felt quite good about that, right?
Well, I started at Mona. I never completed at Mona.
Okay.
And then I completed at Cayfield. So I had a taste of Mona and the whole experience at Cayfield.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So when I said, well, I think I had more than a taste, because I was there for a year, So
hey, you went to both.
and then afterwards, I went to the Normal Manley Law School, which is located on Mona campus. Yeah, the law school is located on the Mona campus. Again, it was there on Mona. But when I judge competitions like these, I try to be as objective as possible, regardless of affiliation or where I went to, because I think about being a participant and putting in the effort. And persons, you don't know how much they're practicing, how much they're looking forward to this opportunity to display their talent and skill. And it really is unfortunate if there's any bias coming from a judge when it comes to competitions like this, because some persons put their heart, their soul in competition. And so you ought to judge the competition as fairly as possible, because you don't know what that person has sacrificed and the impact of an unfair decision would have on that individual or individuals. So I try to consider that every time I'm there. So congratulations to the Mona campus, congratulations to Cayfield and the Global campus. I think the Global campus has, because they have members from different
territories?
Yes. And their disadvantage is the fact that they were, I think, in terms of preparation, and I spoke to the debaters afterwards in that, because I asked a question. What happened, you realize that the open campus has a number of different the global campus has a number of different open campuses. And so the debaters only met when they traveled, and so they had to first learn how to be a team and stuff like that, and how to mesh. And whereas Mona and Cayfield, because it's on one campus, one location, they had the opportunity to practice with themselves over and over again, and you saw that, and that you saw that. So that was that. So congratulations to everybody, organizers, everybody, the St. Kitts Open Campus that really was the host country, or the Global Campus that was the host country. Congratulations, fantastic debate. I found that the Jamaicans really really did well in terms of execution and everything, and all the other campuses as well, Mona, Keville, and Global. And then we had the LIDC debate.
And I see that Nevis won.
Yes, Nevis won.
Congratulations, Team Nevis.
Yes, congratulations to Team Nevis. In fact, when I looked in the morning and I saw, well, from the previous day, that I saw it was going to be Nevis versus St. Kitts.
Yeah, because they won that segment.
Yeah,
I saw that too.
I said, well, on the finals, the federation wins, because regardless of which island wins the competition, the federation wins. And if you put the number of wins by St. Kitts and the number of wins by Nevis together, I know you can't do that realistically because, you know, but you see how many times the federation has scored a win from whether it's coming from Nevis or whether it's coming from St. Kitts. So based on the evening, the statistic was, and coming out of there was that Nevis had won the competition 11 times prior to last night. That was the information that was given. Okay. So if we go back on that information, then you could see that St. Kitts and Nevis has won the competition over 20 times of a 50-year span. So technically, you know, we have had really a good level of debate and presentation.
To Team St. Kitts, because they are the runners-up.
Yes, they are.
So commiserations, keep doing the good work, and who knows?
Yes, and congratulations to all of the teams,
all of the participants.
Because it's really difficult, I say. You put in a lot of work, your students. I remember I could see it from two standpoints, being a student and then being a lecturer, in the sense that you see the students who leave the class so they could participate. And from a student standpoint, you know that you have to miss class to participate. And so all of those students who really gave of their time and talent, congratulations to you, to the teachers, the staff, sponsors behind the scenes, to the parents, because there are parents who are supporting their children, you know, and so to the entire support team behind those persons, congratulations to you. LIDC, this has been its 52nd year.
Oh,
and
wow.
So for any competition to be to be going and going, it really is kudos. And I think that the strength of the organization is based on the fact that it rotates between islands. And so each island has the opportunity to host at different times.
Okay.
Yes.
Good stuff. Oh.
So really good news in terms of the competition, what we're seeing here from students and from, you know, the postgraduates and everything like that. It is very good news that we see. So if we are to look at some of the matters that have been in the news, especially at a regional basis, we see that, you know, it says that the U.S. applauds engagement with CARICOM to counter firearm trafficking. So basically, we have here that the Joe Biden administration in the United States has applauded the Caribbean community for its collaboration in countering firearm trafficking. And so the U.S. Department of State noted that the United States ambassador to the United Nations, Linda Greenfield, led a U.S. delegation to Guyana to participate in the U.S. Caribbean Community Dialogue recently held. And it also goes on to say, this article from Loop, it says that the department said that Thomas Greenfield's engagement built on U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris's April 2022 meeting with Caribbean leaders, the Vice President's June 2023 engagement of Caribbean leaders in the Bahamas, and the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's participation in the 50th anniversary of CARICOM in July 2023 held in Trinidad and Tobago. So it says provisions under the Stop Illegal Trafficking in Firearms assign further penalty for smuggling firearms or ammunition out of the United States with the intent to promote transnational organized crime, the State Department said. So, yes, the State Department is commending CARICOM for the engagement to counter firearm trafficking. And of course, go ahead, you wanted to say.
I saw a comment on our Facebook that says, today is Fruits Day at a parent is saying at her daughter's school, but fruits are so expensive. And this
You
is what I
think-
said. The good things are
Mhm.
expensive. And we
Mhm.
also, before we go to the segment with
Yeah.
Traffic Talk, we also have to wish two of our colleagues and friends happy birthday. We have Sini and we have
Yes.
Candace.
Oh, they both.
Yes.
Yeah, I already wished Cindy early in the morning. Can
Yeah.
they see Franklin?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to. Yeah.
So
So
happy birthday,
happy
ladies.
birthdays to
Have a
both of you. Yes,
wonderful day
yes,
today.
yes. I know Candy is Pisces, but I didn't realize it was today. Oh, wonderful
Yeah.
birthday to you, Candy, former co-host here at Island Tea. And Cindy, she is the soca superstar, Kitishon, yes.
And with her love for animals, especially
Yes.
dogs. Jesus.
Yes.
Sini can't get enough of
Exactly.
animals.
So happy birthday to both of you, Cindy and Candy. Do
Yep.
have a wonderful
A
day.
splendid day.
Yes. So we have here that, so we have Traffic Talk. The individuals are already here. And we also want to encourage persons who may want to call in, ask questions, air their concerns to do so. Remember, the phone lines are open. And as we take the short break, as we prepare for our next segment, Traffic Talk, we welcome you and your discussion.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode.
So welcome back, and we have with us in studio, we have Sergeant Henry. And Sergeant Henry, what are we talking about today on Traffic Talk? Tell us.
This morning I'll be talking about lighting on motor vehicles.
Lighting, you said?
Yes, lighting.
Oh boy. I saw one driving in the at around 7:30, and I was telling my husband, like, flash that person, no lights on.
Mhm.
Wow.
So that's a very good topic for discussion this morning. So, Sophie, we call you that off the air. Sometimes it come out naturally. But Sergeant Henry,
All
yes,
mine.
I like that.
yes, Sergeant Henry, could you expound on the topic?
Yes. All motor vehicles other than motorcycles are required to have a minimum of 2 headlights to the front and a minimum of 1 rear light to the rear. The rays from these headlights should be uncolored. Proper lighting is necessary for the safe operation of motor vehicles on road at night. All road users are affected by the lighting in some way. Hence, the use of lights on motor vehicles at night must be regulated. In recent times, we are seeing an increase incident and unlawful use of lights on vehicles, especially the use of blue lights, sometimes in combination with red lights. Only emergency vehicles should be fitted with blue lights or anything that looks like blue light, whether working or not. And they also have some flashing blue lights, and we know only emergency vehicles should have those flashing blue lights, even the flashing lights. Some people have these, we call them like blinkers, the blinking, or the swerving lights. All those are offenses. Again, the law requires these lights to be approved in any case. If you want anything other than white, it must be approved by the licensing authority.
Okay.
And the licensing authority is the Commissioner of Police. Yes.
So you're telling them and you're reinforcing that they can't have these blinking lights.
No light other than
That sounds like
something that is. And these lights must be able to dip or dim so that the light do not extend more than 20 yards in front of the vehicle.
Okay.
Some people have on the fog lights and think those are the headlights. The fog lights cannot dip nor dim. So those are not the headlamp. The headlamp are the two lights at the front that can either dip or dim and go as far as 20 yards.
Okay.
Yes.
Regulation 18 of the Vehicles and Road Traffic Act, as I said earlier, every motor vehicle shall be equipped with at least 2 lamps at the front. So it's not Sergeant Henry saying it. It is in the regulation. 1 on each side, and when a motor vehicle is in motion on a road at night, the 2 lamps at the front of the vehicle shall be lighted, and the rays from the lamps shall be uncolored. Except with the permission, this regulation 17H, except with the permission of an examining officer, they shall not be affixed to the front or rear of a motor vehicle. So, if you want anything other than what the vehicle come with, although it's supposed to be uncolored, you have to write to the Commissioner of Police. Anything other than that is an offense, and you could be charged for unauthorized lights.
How much
Yes.
is the fine for?
$100. It's cheap.
Yeah,
It's-
I'm thinking. Oh boy.
well, we're looking to increase the fines.
Okay.
Yes. So if you have unauthorized lights, it is an offense. Also, person who drive with no light at the rear to eliminate the number plate is an offense also.
So there
Yes.
must be lighting at the number plate. That's what you're
Yes.
saying. Okay.
And this light must also be white. I'm seeing some blue ones. I've seen green, and these are uncolored lights. Anything other than white, it's an offense. For buses, we have the buses that goes to the countryside. I think Monkey Hill too. They have a light in front of the grill. The light only supposed to be in front of the grill, not in the headlamp. And nothing, no blue. I think I see purple, I see green, I see red. Red is now okay for now, but later down, the red will be coming out.
Okay. How is red okay though, and why is it okay? Because we know red means stop or imminent danger. So why is red?
Yeah, but we use the red, but blue, no.
Mm.
But some emergency vehicle have red
Yes.
and blue. So
Okay.
they use the red, but later down, that will be coming out.
Okay. So just strictly white.
Yes.
Okay.
No, green, purple. I'm talking about for the grill, for the buses.
Oh, so the buses have a particular
Yes,
particular
in the
lights they
grill.
can use.
Yes. Because this is letting the persons or the passengers know where this bus.
So what colors are allowed for the buses for now?
You have red, you have green,
Okay.
I think I see purple.
Okay.
I think those are the 3 colors. I'm
Okay.
not sure if any other color.
Okay.
But I no for blue.
No for blue for now.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Even if you had it, even if you had in your indicator, I see some persons have it on the rear view mirror. No.
Okay. Oh,
Yes.
So persons, this is your opportunity to be informed. You cannot say that you do not know
exactly.
after the officer has expressed and said what it is.
And for February the 23rd alone, we issue 44 tickets. Yes. And this was between, say, after 6 to about 11 o'clock that evening.
These were for the lights, people not using their lights.
We had 19 unauthorized light. We had 1 without headlamp. So even if you drive without your headlamp, it's an offense.
So, okay, you mentioned the fog lights. Does the fog light save the battery power more than the headlamp? Is this why
Don't
they're
know.
driving with it?
I don't know. I can't
Okay,
say.
okay.
We had 23 drive with 1 headlamp. Yes, when you stop person and you say, you drive, oh, officer, I didn't know.
Cyclops.
I don't know. I left home with my 2 lights on. Yes, sometimes we give you the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes we can't tell. Because you can touch the light and you can see it is cold.
Cold, okay.
They say, oh, when I left home, I had it 2. Okay, it was 2, but we can give you the benefit of the doubt. We let you try to get it back on because some persons have a mechanical problem with
the
it.
short. So
Yes.
you could just knock it and it comes back on.
Right.
Okay.
But sometimes there's nothing in it. Sometimes you stop persons once and you see it and you stop them again and they're telling you it just
Yeah.
when you know before. You spoke to them.
Oh, wow.
And from January this year to 27th of February, we had 75 driving with 1 headlamp. We had 5 drive without headlamps, 21 no light to illuminate rear number plate, and 41 unauthorized lights. Yes. And all these fee is $100. Yes, it's just $100. You're gonna say yes, but still, sometimes we don't even have the $100 to pay.
Yeah.
And if you don't pay it in time and you go to the court, the magistrate increase. Yes,
That's bad.
sometimes. And if you have late payments on these, it attracts $50 extra.
So instead of 100, you now pay $150.
Yes.
Okay.
So when you're jumping into your vehicle and you're going out at night, check to make sure everything is okay. Check to make sure that they are working. Don't wait till the police stop you. I know some of us will just jump in and we go. But check to make sure that they are working, that when the police stop you, you know, everything is in order.
Definitely.
No, I must say, every week I learn something new. I know my backlight sometimes want to be blinking and blinking. They're white. Don't worry. I don't break the law. I try my best not to. But then when have they been out? I'm not sure, but I know they blink a lot. So when they blink like that, is that a problem too?
Yes.
Okay, so I have to get it just on.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'll sort that out.
Yes, because you don't want to pay $100.
But even if it's not my fault, then they just okay.
It's
all
your
right.
vehicle.
All
You're
right.
supposed to make sure everything is working.
All right, Sergeant, I'll get them to stop blinking. Don't want to pay $100.
Yes. So, Sergeant, anything else you want to share as relates to the lighting?
And you could check Regulation 18.4. It also speaks of that with the spotlight or similar swiveling light. So Sergeant Henry just not come in and tell you because she want to talk. She want to educate the public to let them know what offense we have on the books.
Okay. Last week I know we spoke about the tint. How has that been? Have you been out on the road to see if there's been any improvement, if persons are adhering by the law? Has there been much more fines than you expected after you would have shared this information?
You still see in person with the whole front windscreen tinted. I don't know why they want.
Is it that they didn't hear us, or?
I don't know.
Oh boy.
Sometimes you stop them, they take it off and they put it back on.
So what do you do when you catch the offenders that reoffend?
Same thing, ticket them.
So you don't raise the ticket, so they just,
We cannot raise it.
oh, you can't
Yes.
raise the amount. Oh boy.
No.
Okay.
We just have to go with what's on the book for now.
Okay. Fair enough.
But maybe when the fees change, persons will adhere to.
A bit more.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't know if you have any calls for now.
Looks pretty quiet. I maybe everybody's just listening to get to understand what they're allowed,
Maybe
what they're
they're
not allowed.
Maybe they're checking their lights.
It's early. I remember we have lighting on the traffic law. Okay.
Okay.
It's a half an hour after sunset and a half an hour before sunset.
Half an hour before. So you have to put on, let's say you can put on your vehicle lights by 6.
After sunset, I can't say when.
Okay, so it's when the sunset go down. They must be on.
We also have the lighting timing, but I don't have it now
Okay.
because they have to change it.
Okay.
Yes, but half an hour before sunset, half an hour after sunset.
Okay. So what if
Or
somebody,
sunrise, sunset. Yes.
what if somebody accidentally drives with their light in the day? There's no offense to that, right?
No, because some vehicles
Yeah.
lights on in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Manufactured.
there might be situations, you know, if it's heavy rain and it's
Right.
really overcast. As a driver, we would put on our lights so we could see
Or the
what's
flashes.
happening. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
But you have different time you could put it on.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So,
So the callers seem a bit silent this morning. You know.
as you said,
I
they're
guess they're
checking the
listening.
vehicle.
They're checking their
Yes.
vehicles and making sure that they have all. Or maybe because we've discussed this topic before and they already, you know, made sure that they comply with the
They make for the
regulation.
compliant? I don't think so. Otherwise, we'll never have these
I know.
figures for this year.
I know. Those are the ones who haven't listened yet. Maybe we can say that. Those are the ones who haven't listened to the program.
But Sergeant, you said this count that you have is from January 27 to February 27. So this is
The
a month.
1st of January.
Or the 1st of January
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we are, but nobody's calling us. As Azard said, maybe they're checking their lights and checking it twice to make sure that when they see the sergeant, that they're good to go. Just like how I have to make sure mine stop the blinking, else I'll
Yes.
be in trouble.
Yes. Officer, so when you see those figures, and we're looking at January to February, and from conversation with you, you know, it's on a bit high.
Yes.
What do you think that based on, you know, and it is my assumption that these persons would have been ticketed, right? Some of them ticketed. Okay, we have a call.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Traffic Talk. Good morning.
Morning. With
Morning.
regards to seeking permission for, for changes, you said you should write to the Commissioner of Police. May I suggest that rather than writing letters, that for all of these things that one needs to seek permission, that there be forms to be completed. Because I might write a letter in longhand on yellow paper telling the commissioner when I bought the car, why I bought it, that my uncle is the one who normally drives it. When all he needs to know is certain specific information. And so having a form to be completed with the relevant information is a far more efficient way of evaluating persons who should qualify for certain things than asking to write letters, because each motorist may have a different idea of what they think that should be provided. On top of that, writing a letter in longhand sometimes is very difficult to read. Form filling is far more efficient. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carlo. We can look into that one and use form instead of written. But sometimes you might fill out the form and your handwriting is still not legible. Yes, but we'll look into that and see how we can get with that.
Okay. So just remind those who may have just joined us what color lights are allowed on private vehicles, what lights are not allowed on private vehicles, and for the buses. I know the guys like to stylize their buses. Just remind them what they can use and what they cannot use. What about taxis? We didn't include them.
Any vehicle,
Okay.
uncolored lights.
Okay.
Yes. Remember, the buses usually travel late at night,
Okay.
and someone may be standing on the side of the road, and instead of just stopping randomly,
Okay.
you know, you stop this one, oh, I'm not going that far, you stop the next one. So they put on the thing on the grill so you know the destination, where they're going.
Oh, so the lights that we spoke about for the buses.
For the grill.
For the
That's
grill?
the destination. That's how far they're going.
Oh.
Yes.
So if they have a green light, I can assume they're going to
St. Paul, somewhere, I don't know.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a
yeah.
destination ID.
You can really tell who don't travel on the buses, right?
Yeah.
Boy.
At one point in time, that was one of my main ways of traveling.
Oh,
So,
and the
yeah.
lights alerted you
Yeah,
to who was
yes.
going where.
Mhm.
Oh, I never knew
You
that.
know how far you're going based on the lights.
Okay. Wow.
And it's better that way. But the thing is, some of them have them sub right, and it's not supposed to be right, because
Yeah.
you're supposed to be able to see the number plate also.
Okay.
Because if you look at it, when you at the bus stop, especially at evening sometimes, you might not, because it tells you on the bus how far it's going, but in the evening you won't be able to recall. Well, you won't be able to see because of the thing. So there's something the light would indicate, okay, then that person ain't going that way. Yeah.
So instead, you just stop in every minute, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
I really learned something new every week on Traffic Talk, or every day, I must say.
And it was
because-
more beneficial
knew
for
that.
those persons who live further than Sandy Point.
Okay.
Because persons like me in Old Road, all the buses will come that way.
Okay.
But if the difficulty was if you're going further, I think, than Sandy Point, some persons might be going as far as there. Yeah, so you want to make sure that you catch the right bus.
Okay, caller, go ahead. You're live on Traffic Talk. Good morning.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, morning.
Good morning. I see you have a scarcity of calls, but I ain't not so long.
Mm-hmm.
Officer there from the traffic, Mr. Henry.
Yes, sir.
The lights that the buses carry in front there and the grill, some small multicolored lights, is a very good thing, you know. It not only tell you, in fact, it doesn't tell you where you can't see to tell you where it is going, but is an identification that it is a bus, which is a very good thing. You could see from a distance because other vehicles don't carry them, and I believe sometimes traffic could do things to enhance the betterment of the service for the general public or commuters. So that's a plus, I think, for the bus. One of the better things that most of them would have done. All don't have it, but it's a very good thing. But I want to ask you, I know that you read from ordinances or whatever, but I believe that some of the things that they have established from way back when, sometimes some of these things need improvement as time goes by. It's a real fact of life. Not like the one that somebody maybe was a farmer officer said, increase the speed in built-up areas. He has to be a crazy man because you have so many more vehicles on the road. And if you're going to increase the speed, you want to go up to chaos. I know a long time ago in Singapore, you want to go someplace, you have to cut your route. And if you want certain kind of vehicles, it takes you 4 years before the government permit you to import them. Because Singapore people working for high salaries, high standard of living, they're like Mercedes and that kind of car, right? So I'm just saying all of that. And we know we are increasing, and it might got to be someday where you could put up a proposal, say too many vehicles coming in to regularly. But we're far from that, though. We're far from that. But I want you all to appeal to a lot of these drivers. It's like a reckless driving that they do. Not just buses. I would have seen something recently. I don't understand what happened to black people. It seems as if when they get a vehicle, they have arrived. So I think you all need to do that. But when offenders telling you the police that they didn't know this and then, I would like to know something. What do they teach them when they are preparing for a license test, written and practical road? So I just don't understand it. You all the people get away too much. If people get penalized, you can change them because it's just like a child. You might not want to hit the child when he does wrong. But sometimes you got to hit them hard too. Let them realize and tell them why you hit them. I hardly hit my children, but then we used to offend easily. but they get some lick. Nothing brutal, look. I go along with the Bible.
Okay.
So, anyway, I think you are making a continuing effort to help to inform the general public, which is very good. But there are things you all could coordinate. Maybe call a meeting here, there. Divide the numbers, say certain numbers, and do it. And inform the buses in particular about upward development. Have a good one.
You too,
Thank you,
sir.
Carlo.
Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you so much, Carlo.
Yes, as you say, we have some reckless drivers. Yes, we do. And they find when you're being found for reckless driving, or you go to court for that offense, it is $5,000 or $5,000 imprisonment with or without hard labor for a term not exceeding 6 months or both such fine and imprisonment. So persons who like to drive recklessly, if you have $5,000 to throw away, but the thing is, sometimes you might not even live. No. So just obey the speed limit. Yes, you might say, 20 miles is too slow. This is from somebody who is driving. But at least when you have excess speed, you cannot control the vehicle.
Yep.
And all these things that I'm speaking here now, and even persons doing the written exam, these are things that does come on the written exam, with the speed limit, how to control your vehicle and all that. So it's nothing new. So persons who did the exam, these are things that they have learned. But as you say, when we get a vehicle, we think, we have arrived. Yes. Yes.
But do you really think that persons remember what they do on that test once they are now on the road and they are an active driver?
Yes, they do. But the thing is, they say, okay, I have completed that, so I don't have to study that.
Exactly, because I was just thinking, right? How often do we use the hand signals that we are taught when we were learning to drive on the road? We don't use them anymore. We depend on our indicator, and I hate it when folks indicate at the last minute. I will indicate for a mile. I do not care who is upset. But I hate it. That's why I try my best to keep off a car length off of everybody. Because sometimes you're going, and you look up, and they're now putting on their indicator, and the corner is right there to turn.
Up this morning before I came here, somebody was talking to me, and they say, this person right up under them.
I do not understand what it is. That's why.
Why you want to be under somebody? Because suppose my vehicle get
cut out right there. You hit me right in my back.
Yes. You're going to say I didn't indicate. But if you're a car length or two, you'll have time to stop.
To stop, yeah.
So persons like to be on the persons. This is from such because you don't, and a lot of the accident we just have back.
Yep.
Yeah, back, rear accidents.
Suddenly stopping, they say the person indicated late, but as you
You're
rightly
too close
said,
upon the
you
person, you don't have enough time to stop.
Okay.
Yes, and every month we get in a lot of vehicles because I think last week we got 100 and something.
New vehicles.
Vehicles on the island, yes. So it's every month vehicles coming in. And as the caller say, if we increase the speed limit, what's going to happen?
What about the derelict vehicles that we talked about last week? How are the movements going for those? Okay.
Up to yesterday, they issued 20 notices.
Okay.
So.
And these notices give them how long to move these vehicles?
If we know the owner, is 48 hours.
Okay.
So if Azard got one and I go to him, I give him a 48 hours paper. If I cannot tell the owner, then it's 7 days.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
Yes. So, guys, you have a wealth of information here by the officer. She has provided the information. Of course, we know that ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Yes.
And because when you're before that court, it's not whether or not you knew, is what you did at the time and what the law was at the time that you did it.
So I'm glad I'm hearing it from a
lawyer.
Yes.
So we want to say thank you so much, Sergeant Henry, for continuing to come here every Monday, 8:30. And generally, save and accept where it is that, you take the vacation. And when they put you maybe in a certain area differently, you have been very faithful. And we want to say thank you so much for educating, informing the public on what their rights are and what their obligations are as well as it relates to traffic. So we're going to take a short break and come back. We have our next segment. Kortensia, you want to tell them what the next segment is again?
It's World Obesity Day, and we have the lovely Mistress Latoya Duncan in to speak to us about this. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. As I said, we all have some form of obesity. So let's be educated on the topic when we return.
Yes.
I'm begging you to slow it down, slow it down.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Life is unpredictable. Don't miss the opportunity to provide your loved ones with the financial protection and peace of mind coverage they deserve with the Family Indemnity Plan from Kuna Caribbean Insurance. The Family Indemnity Plan covers final expenses such as funeral costs and outstanding debt in the event you or your loved one passes away for up to $30,000. No medical examination is required. Contact your credit union or one of their approved Family Indemnity Plan providers to enroll today. To learn more, call 466-9453 or 762-2973. Visit their website at kunacaribbean.com. Kuna Caribbean Insurance, for all people.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA specials.
Rolling February 22nd to March 6th.
Now our Value Club Blue Tax specials. Lace chips $8.99. IGA and Essential Everyday Salad Dressing $10.99. After popcorn, $7.99. Essential Everyday Mayonnaise, $16.99. Blue Ribbon Ice Cream, $32.99. Pearl Mix, Pancake Mix, $12.49. And now our very low weekly
Value deals. Ocean Spray Cranberry Drinks, $11.99. Post Honey Bunches of Oat Cereals, $12.99. Ensure, $8.99. Rice-A-Roni Dishes, $7.99. Ama Toothpaste, $14.99. Dawn Dish Liquid Soap, $12.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart, tell them in Spanish.
sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
And we're back on Island Tea, and as promised, it's 9:02. And guess who we have with us? The lovely Mistress Latoya Duncan here from the Nutrition Surveillance Program Health Promotion Unit to speak to us on today's World Obesity Day. Good morning, Miss Duncan.
Hi, a pleasure and good morning to you. Thank you so much for having me. Truly a pleasure being here again.
Yes, Miss Duncan. And while we anticipated, you know, your entrance and everything, and while we prepared, we got some stats. I got some stats from the worldobesity.org as to the way in which, you know, St. Kitts and Nevis place, and it really separates it from adult children, male, female. And based on the statistics here, it says when it comes to male adults, we're 19th with 37.5%. When it comes to male children, we're 13th with 24.6%. 19th for female child, 21.5%. And 14th for female adult, 55.1%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes, it's actually quite alarming. And a lot of time when we have these celebratory days, persons take them for granted. However, today, World Obesity Day, March 4th, St. Kitts and Nevis joined globally with the rest of the world because obesity is affecting us more than we think. A lot of persons look at it as, and forgive me if anyone got offended to say, well, another fat person, a fat individual, but it's actually a condition and it's quite treatable. This year's theme for obesity is let's talk about obesity, and they are looking at it from 3 perspectives: health, our world, and youth. Because our youth are really being impacted by obesity, and so they would like to focus some of these conversations on our youth.
Okay.
Definitely. And when you see some of these statistics and you look at children with the males, what I found interesting, and I could understand too, the males, you have 24.62% being obese, whereas the females, these are children, 21.5%. And I wouldn't, usually females, they mature faster, so I don't know if that's the reason why a lot of the energy probably is used into, they're developing so much during puberty, and so. But when you look at and the bodily changes that go on, when you look at the males, though, you find, and when you look at the adults, you find that 37% obese for the males and 55% for the females. So you're wondering again, based on again the body composition, and
Nurse, can you explain that difference to us?
Obesity is nobody's fault.
Okay.
And some persons tend not to realize that because persons are usually influenced by so many things around them. Obesity is one of those complex conditions that look at factors that sometimes are outside people's control, such as biology, like you were speaking about, hormones and developmental health.
Okay.
Mental health is also one of those. Our environment, what you can afford to a certain extent for some individuals.
Yes.
And when I go back to the environment, the type of food that is accessible to individuals. So it's sort of multi-complex. So sometimes when we have persons who speak about obesity and tend to blame it on an individual who are overeating, parent who are probably providing this, is multi-complex. And genes is another one that play a major factor with it. Even though a small percentage of persons usually fall within that gene pool, where obesity is a condition for them, it is still a problem. However, it is also one of those things that through lifestyle changes, persons can have some control, whether it be at the individual level, the community level, the country level, and that is something that we are looking at, and even globally now as to why they are celebrating World Obesity Day, because it has now moved beyond that level. Everywhere in the world is being affected by obesity, and so they are trying to bring awareness to this as a condition and not just as persons just looking at it as somebody having more weight than they are supposed to. It is something that is treatable and should be diagnosed and should be treated properly.
So for the average person that's listening, that's not familiar with the topic, what in a sense is obesity? What is the medical definition of it?
Well, obesity, usually there is a tool that is used that is known as BMI, a body mass index, where they look at the portion of your height based on your weight, and then they give you a reading based on where you are. So usually persons who are over 29.5, they are considered obese. Okay, so that is usually used as a classification. It's basically you having more fat than what you're supposed to have in proportion with your height. You have more adipose tissue. You have a little bit more extra. than what you are supposed to have based on how tall you are, based on how short you are. So that is basically what we look at defining obesity for individuals, and that goes in 3 categories. You could be obesity class 1, class 2,
and 3.
and then 3, which we consider extreme obese.
Oh, wow. Oh. And I see there, if your BMI is 50, you're super.
Well, super. I don't even think
super
that,
obese. I saw that this morning when I was
because
doing some research. I'd be like, super obese? Is there such a thing?
we do have some individuals. Luckily in St. Kitts, I've never really encountered that, but globally there are individuals who have that level where even for some obesity rating they can't even be classified because of their weight in proportion to their height. So it's a problem, and there are quite a bit of shows that persons watch, and some persons find them funny, but they should be used as a means of education for individuals. Even though you might not fall in that category where you're that extreme obese, however, you can follow some of the treatments that they give, like the diet ones, for example. Sometimes they do give some great diet plans looking at cutting down on some of the complex carbs, like your starches, for example, consuming more fruits and, of course, a lot more vegetables, and also looking at consuming more lean protein. So those are some of the things that persons can pick up from the show instead of just watching to say, well, let me see how big this individual actually is.
Yeah. When it comes to BMI, I've always, research has shown that it has not really given an adequate representation in terms of obesity, whether someone is obese or not, because it doesn't take into consideration muscle mass.
Well, for some individuals, that's why there are different categories of individuals. For example, let's take Asians, for example, because they only got to a certain height. What is considered obese for them would not be considered obese for someone who is of African nature. So yes, body mass, and why that tends to happen, because muscle weighs more than fat.
Yes.
So you would find somebody who have more muscle, they might fall in the obese category, not even the overweight. Some of them, they fall in the obese category because of the amount of muscle mass that.
But is that good? The fact that we're using the word obese, having more muscle, is that something good?
For that individual.
Okay, so they're not obese, like they're going to get obese. NCDs and get sick.
That's why it is not. That's why it is not a tool that is used for diagnostic measures. Okay. So it's just sort of like a screening tool.
Okay.
So which means it can work for most of the population. However, you would still have that specific group that will not fall into that category.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yes.
So
but that is one. There are some more complex machines that can be used that can measure all of this. It can measure individual how much water you have in your body. It can measure how much fat, how much muscle. It can even pinpoint those specific areas to say, well, you have this amount of percentage fat in your abdomen. You have this amount of percentage fat in your arms. Okay. Unfortunately, we don't have one of those.
Hopefully we get one soon.
Let's pray.
Yeah, we're calling it into being.
Yeah. But those would be wonderful to have.
One time I think I can't. I think I had bought a scale that really measured
everything.
How much. Not everything, maybe just the water weight that you have, the percentage, something like that. Yeah. There's some scales out there.
Some scales, yes. Some scales give you a sort of a prediction based on what they are reading, but it's still not as precise as these.
That's
it can give you a little
indication. That's
basically.
Let's talk about the numbers in St. Kitts. I read something that says child obesity will increase to 100% by 2020 and 2035. Is that true? What are our rates here in St. Kitts?
Well, currently, for children, we do have an issue for in St. Kitts in particular. When we in St. Kitts and Nevis, the prevalence of overweight and obesity, yes, it's estimated to increase among the population. As in 2011, we had 32.5% of secondary school age children who were overweight and 14.4% who were considered obese. So we do, when you think about the population of the secondary school children in St. Kitts and Nevis, and you look at those percentages, and this was done in 2011. Okay, we are now in 2024. Okay, so we do not have current data to look at that, but most likely it would be trending upwards. So we definitely would have a larger percentage of secondary children being overweight, and even primary school, and we are even now seeing it in some of the earlier education units. So Yes, it's a problem in St. and Nevis, and that's why we are here. And you know, the Ministry of Health through quite a few different programs. Some of them are combined multifactorial, as in multi-condition, trying to make an impact in not only one area, but more than one. For example, diabetes, hypertension, as well as obesity. So we are looking at quite a bit of those activities in order to help individuals. For example, one that we are looking at bringing on stream is looking at using local trails in St. Kitts and Nevis, pinpointing these trails, letting individuals know if you walk this particular trail, this is how much calories you can lose.
Nice.
You know, how long they are. So we'll be able to actually identify a map and identify these different trails in the different communities and encourage persons to use them more.
Awesome. As you talk about mapping or taking track of the calories that you burn, my mind goes to like these smart watches that we have that can actually track some of your steps and could track your caloric output, you know, what you have used. So those kind of things help as tools. Of course, not foolproof, because you realize that there's some apps you have on your phone and it monitors your step, but if you shake it up enough time, it monitors the shake rather than the actual step, and so you could shake it and cheat.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's why the watches, they are more preferred because they are on your wrist, so they can tell when you get a little bit more active, you get a little less active. But for the phone apps, there are some great apps that persons can actually go into the Play Store and look at, and they actually help you to keep track of your intake. So it keeps you how much food you consume, whether or not you're over by a certain percentage of carbohydrates are under, so you shouldn't consume any more for the day. If you had enough sugar, if you have enough water. So, you know, so there are some apps for that.
Okay.
Technology has advanced so much that it could really assist
and
you.
it can be helpful. A lot of persons, even with social media, a lot of persons, they only look at the negative impact of social media. But there is so much positive on it that persons can gather. For example, YouTube, for example, we were just discussing it there while I was waiting to come in here. YouTube have so many different exercise videos for different categories of persons.
Yeah.
If you're somebody who like walking, you could literally find walking videos where you literally just walk on the spot and it works. If you're a beginner and you're trying to lose some weight, focus on a specific area, you can find all these videos for you.
Indeed.
So, you know, we have certain things at our disposal, and it's important for persons to understand that even though the Ministry of Health, they are the main entity that look at implementing some of these activities, it's also individual responsibility.
Yes, it is.
And then we have multiple community groups that are impactful. It's also their responsibility. It's not just only the Ministry of Health responsibility. So we at the Ministry of Health, you know, we encourage persons, if you have an idea, if you have an activity, just give Ministry of Health a call, find out how you can incorporate us in that plan, how we can be of assistance to you.
Yes.
Because literally we can't do it all. We really cannot. Our health promotion unit is relatively small.
Okay.
And when I say small, okay? So we need assistance from the general public, from the community groups, from the different NGOs. You know, we really need some more oomph in order to help us to achieve some of these interventions. Because the thing is, we would probably implement, but the sustainability of these activities is what would actually give us a big issue. And sustaining them usually is what gives the most impact to most of these health interventions.
Yeah, so we know that it's World Obesity Day. We know you're doing the radio program so that we can get this information across both St. Kitts and Nevis and the diaspora, because I know there's persons listening from there. But what other activities do you have today for this day?
Okay, for this day, we had an essay competition that started in the primary schools in February. It was looking at the age group, ages 8 to 12, and the topic was combating obesity through prevention. It was a 500-word essay. The judges submitted most of their results last night. Unfortunately, I really wish I had the winner here.
Aww.
I was hoping to have that so I could announce who the actual winner.
Oh, so you can't announce yourself?
No, I can't announce as yet
Shucks.
because one judge still didn't finish tally everything.
Okay.
Yes.
So hopefully by the end of today, we'll be able to announce who the student actually is, who won that. So we currently, I don't have a winner. I really wish I did.
Aww.
Yeah, we also have different awareness programs happening. We have infomercials that is available on these screens around St. Kitts and Nevis through use of city scam screens. So when you go to the ferry terminal, for example, at some of the fast food places, Ready Fry in St. Kitts and a few other in Nevis, you'll be able to see information on world obesity there.
Okay, nice. Okay.
And for those persons who might not be at those locations, also the website that was there, it was data.worldobesity.org.
Okay.
Yes.
So with this day, what is the International Obesity Organization hoping to accomplish?
Well, what they are hoping to accomplish from it is more to build awareness.
Okay.
And what their approach this year, instead of just specifically having one theme, they are basically trying to have a conversation with multiple individuals. Okay, they are looking at it from the health perspective, the youth perspective, and education in particular. They are just trying to build awareness. Recently, I was on HealthWise, and the doctor and I who was there, she had some very good points, because the thing is, like I said earlier in the show, persons are not seeing obesity as a condition. So an individual would go to the doctor, for example, or to another healthcare, to a health institution, and they basically only look at the condition. Well, this person is suffering from diabetes, this person is suffering from hypertension. They don't look at the fact that even though this person have more weight than they are supposed to, that this is also supposed to be treated. This is also supposed
because
to be
obesity
treated.
is the cause of most of these NCDs,
Yes,
right?
it used to be considered one of the major risk factors for NCDs. However, obesity itself is now considered a condition.
Wow.
So it's no longer a risk factor only to NCDs. It basically is a condition, so it should be given the same amount of attention as would be given to diabetes, hypertension, or even cancers.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yes. Because being obese can also cause cancers. I found out. I didn't know that.
Yes, because the amount of fat, the thing is, the extra adipose tissue, it basically fights everything.
Wow.
So you probably might be taking a particular medication for a particular condition, but because of the amount of adipose tissue, the amount of excess fat, then it's actually fighting against the medication. So you're not getting the full effect from the medication.
Oh, wow.
Additionally, the additional fat can be pressing on your organs, and so causing them not to function to their full ability. So, once a persons used to say, this thing about the extra fat, and so, persons just talking. But there's a reason why our body were actually made a certain way, why our bones don't go to accommodate excess fat. We don't get that. So, the big bone thing, I understand kind of where it come from, but the body do not go to accommodate excess fat. So, which basically means as a structure, how the body is structured, we have to be careful with the amount of fat or the amount of weight
that we put
on our frame.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. Oh, boy. Well, Latoya teach me plenty this morning, boy. I really had to go do something about this little extra weight around the waist. So.
Yes, and as I like to say to persons, when you're looking for the fountain of youth, exercise.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But, it's easier said than done, and I'm sure all of we've been through the struggles with the exception of this muscle man beside us here that exercising every day. I've not been exercising like I used to be honest. And now she said all of this thing about the fat and the medication not working. I totally get it now. Yeah.
Because it's usually motivation. Persons have to motivate themselves.
Yeah. Discipline.
Yeah. A lot of time persons say, well, only if I go with a group. But the thing is, what if the group never come? You never will do it.
Exactly.
So you have to find something for you, something that you like. If you're somebody who wants to exercise indoors, you'll find ways to exercise indoors.
Yep.
If you're somebody who like outdoors, you'll find ways to exercise outdoors.
Yep.
Okay. If the group don't come, you bring a virtual group to you.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
you said there's lots on YouTube. You gave us a lot of.
You have to. You can't just keep sitting down waiting.
Yeah.
Okay. The longer you wait, the bigger problem it occurs.
Oh, boy.
The more you have to reduce.
Yeah.
So you have to also be conscious of what you eat as well, if you're not exercising as much.
The potato chips, the red meat, and the alcohol. You have to minimize everything.
The alcohol, liquid fat.
Yes.
That's what it is known as.
Exactly.
Alcohol, liquid fat.
Okay. I thought they say a glass of wine a day keeps the little worms away. Okay. All right.
So we want to say thank you so much, Nurse Duncan, Latoya Duncan, for being here this morning, to be here representing the ministry, the Department of Health and surveillance.
Yeah, it's nutrition surveillance program, the health promotion unit. Latoya, is there anything that you have that we may not have touched on that you think is that the public can use?
Well, I think we have touched on most of the item, but I just want to encourage the public to utilize the Ministry of Health Promotion Unit. If you have activities, reach out to us, ask us to join on board, to be a partner. You know, we don't have to implement everything. That's basically the message we want to get across to individuals. It's not a Ministry of Health problem only.
It's only all of us.
And we need persons, quite a few influencers, community influencers that do activities. Okay, but if you get the right persons involved, we can actually get a lot more health benefits out of these activities. So just utilize your Ministry of Health more often.
How can they contact you?
Oh, they can call 467-1236 or 467-1233. You can go through government headquarters and just ask them to connect you to Health Promotion Unit. Additionally, you can also get resources in all the health centers in St. Kitts and Nevis. If they are not able to provide you with certain information there, they will definitely guide you to those health individuals who can. So reach out to all the different areas in the Ministry of Health, the different individuals, the different departments.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes, it has been a pleasure.
Have a marvelous Monday morning.
You too.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Life is unpredictable. When a serious illness strikes, such as cancer, heart attack, or stroke, the Family Critical Illness Plan from Kuna Caribbean Insurance can provide an extra layer of financial protection for you and your family against out-of-pocket expenses. Select a plan that fits your needs and get up to $90,000 in coverage. No medical examination is required. Contact your credit union or one of their approved family indemnity plan providers to enroll today. To learn more, call 466-9453 or visit their website at kunacaribbean.com. Kuna Caribbean Insurance, for all people.
Portsmouth's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Portsmouth Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
And we are back on Island Tea this morning, the 4th of March, as we celebrate World Obesity Day. We just heard the lovely nurse Duncan said we have to make time to exercise. We have to eat right. We have to do what's best for ourselves in order to live healthy lives. And folks, for those of you who have been missing and asking and calling, guess who we have in studio this lovely Monday morning? The lovely Michelina Charles. I'm going to say Hazel. Yes, she's here. Jam down. She's here.
And all the other callers.
Yes, the young lady that called. Yes.
Call during the time we were here. Yes.
That is such an
How are
incredible.
you?
I am lovely, I am lovely.
I missed you.
somebody from my team
Yes.
sent me some of the clips of the persons calling and asking for me, and I was literally in tears.
Aw.
Like, I got the clips and I started crying on my walk to school, and I was like, oh my goodness, St. Kitts and Nevis, I love you, I hear you, thank you very much. When you take up the same tongues to abuse me because you don't agree with what I have to say, I will remember a time that you did appreciate me, and I won't take it personally.
Can I tell you that, it was also mentioned on the popular show, Straight Talk with Patches?
Oh, what was mentioned?
What?
Patches.
That
I don't
the
listen to that show,
questions-
so I didn't know.
The questions were asked, where is Michelina? And Azard fumbled in answering the question.
Oh my goodness! We made it to Patches.
Something as to they didn't use the word fumble, but that was generally what I gathered from it. Someone sent it to me, so I was like,
What?
Well, Michelina is all over.
She be famous. She be famous.
I was like,
gosh.
I didn't know I made it to Patches, so arriver.
I didn't know either, because I
But I got the news clips, I got the phone calls, I got the messages. I was so overwhelmed with gratitude. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, when I got the messages, the voice things, I was like crying. I was like, oh my God.
They appreciate you.
But someone asked me as well, Michelina, what is Michelina's view on the salary increase? And I said to the person, she had her own program on Tuesday, was it? Wednesday evening on Freedom that she went through.
Yeah, because I listened to it Thursday morning, I think, while I was getting ready for work with the little actuary.
Yeah, it's Wednesday because
Wednesday night, and then Freedom FM replayed it, and that got a whole lot of attention.
I was
attention.
I dare said, Michelina had the other panelists trying to justify using reason, but I was like, that was then,
It was quite an experience having Uncle Sam on, and the work that he did with the minimum wage. I think that he was just a little bit perturbed that they had a maximum and a minimum wage increase at the same time, because they did a lot of work on the minimum wage. I'm going through some of
So he
the
wished they would have
data.
waited to do the second increase.
Yeah. I'm going through some of the data on the social levy, so I can do a commentary on that.
Okay.
Yes.
That should be very, very interesting.
Okay.
But I am here, and I want to talk about, I know we are not spicy in education, we're not income generating, we're not political, but there are a number of schools that are grieving the loss of children in St. Kitts and Nevis. We had the athlete who passed
away
at the Sadler's Secondary.
Empathies and to his families.
And he passed while participating in school. He passed while being a good student. And I think, I stand to be corrected if it needs be, as a result, the Sadler's Secondary is not having a continuation of the sports term, and there's a lot of debate about they should continue because other athletes are there, and other athletes want the opportunity to participate in sports because this is their term. But I want us to imagine what it is like for a principal, and this is not the first student that she has lost in the 5 years that she's been there. You're doing what you have to do as a principal, you're doing what you have to do as a school, and then one of your children just not going to wake up. Like, you have to be the one to call the parent, or you have to be the one to answer the parent and the ministry. And I just want us to remember the schools and the institutions that are grieving. I think the funeral will be Wednesday. The funeral will be Wednesday at the Sadler's playing field. So however we can support the Sadler's Secondary as a country, as a community, I think we should go out. I'm not sure I the sketch bus. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. But I will definitely try to lend my support to Teacher Shabby and Mr. Jones and the whole Sadler's Secondary. Let's just remember to keep them in prayer. And the 2 children that lost their lives. The mother was charged with murder. Can't really speak to that because I that for me is so fraught with postpartum depression, negligence on the part of the community, negligence on the part of the country, the immediate family, the fathers, all of us.
Okay, Miss
That
Charles.
Yes, so we have now another segment, and we have Miss Charles from Gender Affairs who would be here. Yes, so we're going to take a shot.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 Win FM.
Rams the good food people always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices. Rams is always here. New one in your loyalty. Rams is always here. We are community. We are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
Are you looking for a new dining experience to whet your appetite? Explore the flavors of the world at Pangea Multi-Cuisine Kitchen and Lounge. Our menu features Latin, Chinese, Mexican, and Indian cuisine with a local twist. The cozy and elegant ambiance provides the perfect backdrop for an unforgettable dining experience. Whether you're in the mood for a romantic night out, a family dinner, or a business lunch, our restaurant is the perfect place to discover new tastes and enjoy a delicious meal. Book your table at Pangea Multi-Cuisine Kitchen and Lounge today by calling us at 465-9100 or visit our website at ktcsvdm.com and our Facebook page at Pangea by KTCS Limited. We are located in the heart of Port Sante Bastille St. Kitts. Come and explore the flavors of the world.
Fruta, taste the real Fruta, enjoy the real Fruta, refreshing juice of every day. Whoa, Fruta, drink the real Fruta, your favorite Fruta, the natural taste is Fruta. Fruta.
Your favorite fruit has got a new skin with real juice within. Drink the real Fruta. Enjoy the real joy.
Taste the real Fruta, enjoy the real Fruta, refreshing juice of every day is Fruta.
Fruta, juiced right.
And we're back, and we have with us in studio Chanel Charles from Gender Affairs, and she's going to be speaking with us and talking about the activities for International Women's Day. It's this month, and she has a month of activities to celebrate. Some activities, maybe not a month, but I'm sure that the women are going to take the month and celebrate regardless. And we have also Michelina Charles Hazel here, and so we say while during the break, Charles and Charles are in here. Yes.
They can charge you.
So, Miss Charles, tell us what the department has in store. Tell us about preparations for International Women's Day.
Okay, so International Women's Day for the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs, it's a big month for us. I can't say a big day. It's a big month for us where we acknowledge our women for their hard work, for their dedication, for their duties, responsibilities in the home, in the community, in the church, anywhere. We are just celebrating women this month. I don't want to exaggerate too much. Like you said, it's a big thing for us because we do have International Men's Day.
Mhm.
But, so I'm just saying, March is for us.
Okay.
So if I go too deep, okay, just forgive me.
We-
So when the men come, they can.
You are forgiven. You
When
are
Mario
forgiven.
comes, it can be sorted out, right?
Yes, definitely. So on Sunday, we started our celebration by going to church, and I just want to say a big thank you to our female inmates who joined us at church yesterday. That was an awesome initiative, and we just want to show the world that we are for rehabilitation of our women as well. So kudos
Oh, wow.
to
Nice.
the females. And then we have a non-traditional skills training activities happening where women are trained in different areas. Actually, we started on Saturday because we wanted every Saturday to have an activity for the training. We started actually on Saturday. That was the 2nd of March, sorry. And we had our first class, and this was plumbing. So the women went to AVEC, to learn plumbing. Demonstrations were made to them, and at the end of it, first of all, before I go to the end of it, about 35 women showed up on Saturday at AVEC for the plumbing class, right? So I can see that women are interested in the non-traditional skills,
Okay.
right? They are interested. On the 9th, that's the other Saturday, that's this Saturday coming, it would be auto mechanics. So women in auto mechanics. They're going to TDC. I just want to shout out the kudos to TDC, our big sponsor, one of our big sponsors. So it would be at the industrial site, the TDC Automotive Division. And I know it's going to be packed, maybe over 35.
So these women had to register before, or they
Yes.
just show up? Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, there was a registration form, and there was a flyer. And surprisingly, the registration closed in a day and a half.
Oh boy, because you had so many applicants.
So many applicants.
Okay.
So we have a lot of work to do.
Okay.
Yes, and on the 16th, we would have women in welding. That they will go back to AVEC and learn how to weld, right?
My mom
I
was a
think-
welder.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I think we have a student from one of the high schools who are into welding, a female.
Okay.
So she would join us as well at AVEC on the 16th. And on the 23rd, we would have women in electricity. So they will go back to AVEC again, and they will engage in the activities, demonstrations of, how to fix little electrical issues you have in your home. And then on the 30th of March, we have women in tiling.
Oh,
I
wow.
know some of them are very excited because it's hands-on. They're going to have to tile an area of a school themselves with the instructions of the facilitator.
Okay.
So I saw the excitement on Saturday where some of them were saying, I can't wait.
Oh,
I can't wait to
nice.
come back for the other Saturday. But one thing I'm seeing, though, we have a lot of single-parent mothers who we have to facilitate, who we have to
Okay.
help out. And I realize if they can't do it alone, we have to help them.
You mentioned the inmates going to church. Are any of the inmates included on these programs that you're having at AVEC?
Presently, no.
Okay. Is it something that you're going to work on to ensure their inclusiveness? Because just in case some of them get out, they can have an extra skill that they can use to make their monies.
I'm glad you said that. We do have a program,
Okay.
a rehabilitation program for the women in prison, where an officer from our department goes to the prison every Thursday.
Okay.
And yes, they are trained in different areas as well. They are not on the outside, like where you can see them do a lot
Understood.
of stuff, but they do be on the outside.
Okay, okay.
Right. I think last week, Thursday, they were at the craft house.
Okay.
Right, they were at the craft house.
I really don't know how to identify the female prisoners, though. Like how I can identify a male person on the outside doing work, I can never identify a female prisoner.
Do they wear the white dress?
No, they don't.
Because they have a white dress, Carty. Like, I would just not go to prison, just not to wear the
that white dress?
It's like a bucket hat and a dress.
Oh, okay.
No, they actually go out dressed to work.
Okay. So you can never identify them?
No, and I don't think that you should.
Okay, that's good. Okay, fair enough.
Just to prevent the
Yeah.
discrimination and all of that.
Understood.
But they do learn skills. And
Okay.
we do teach them about time management, coping skills, and all of that inside the prison as well. So when they leave, they are more equipped to go back into the family, back into society. But what we have to work on is when they leave and we try to get a job for them, the discrimination that comes with it. And it's a lot of work to be done to get them reintegrated
into society.
back into society.
Let me ask the question. Do you have, you may not have it, but just for the discussion, you know how many persons, inmates are female in prison right now?
Presently, I think it's about 7.
Okay, not bad, not a bad number.
It's never a bad number.
Okay.
No, it's never a bad number.
Yeah.
Not saying the other number is supposed to be bad, okay? Just let me get that right, because nobody should be in there. We should all be good, upright, living citizens for our country.
But I'm guessing compared to the number of males in there.
Yeah, that's why I don't want anybody to come for me. Yeah.
Let's just shake that off.
Yeah, but we are just trying to change the momentum a bit with the female inmates.
Okay.
And getting them into things that they want to do, things that they may have wanted to do a long time, or training they may have wanted to get involved in a long time. Because we know that the men are out there. You see them all
the time.
over.
That's why I said I could identify.
Right, they're all over. So we are just giving the women a chance.
Okay,
you know, to want to. Right. So let me just go a little bit more into the activities. We will also have a High School Girls of Excellence Award. Normally it is done in October. It's called the girls. They are the girl child.
Yes.
But during International Women's Day this month, we wanted to do the high school girls, where we award one child, you know, for maybe good behavior, good academics, good sportsmanship, and all of that. So we don't want to leave our young girls behind also. We want to pull them along, right? Seeing that they are our little foundation.
Yep.
And they are coming up to be.
They're next.
Right. The next Shinolin Gender Affairs.
Yes.
Michelina, you know.
What's the theme?
Indeed.
What's the theme for this year?
The theme for International Women's Day, I just want to get it right. I don't want
this the one that says invest in women, accelerate
progress.
Okay.
Right, that's it. I'm sorry, I just wanted to get that correctly.
Okay.
Yes.
So invest in women.
Accelerate.
All type of women. So
yes.
Little, rockers making women like Michelina, nice
boy.
women like Kortensia, professional women, like all kind of women, not just the well-behaved ones.
Yeah.
Invest in women.
And accelerate progress.
Right. Okay, so that's about our activities.
Okay.
And then we have our big ceremony on Friday, the 8th of March at Royal St. Kitts, where we would award at least 11 women. We have 8 awardees, and then we have 3 women that we want to induct into our gallery.
Okay, nice.
Right, so it's about 11 women, so it's going to be big.
Okay.
So who are the 3 women? Could we know yet, or is a secret unveiling?
It's better to be there to see.
Dun, dun, dun. Is there a cost to be there? Do you have to be invited to be there?
You have to be invited. Oh. So we can control numbers.
And what time does this event start?
At 6.
Okay, and it's
6.
at the Royal St. Kitts Ballroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Me, I'm going to invite, but that's okay.
Oh, boy. Michelle, I didn't get one either. So we're in the same bucket. We're in the same. Our turn will come, sweetie.
Yes,
our turn will come.
Definitely.
Yes.
And then we have, I can tell you the areas that they would be awarded in, if that's okay. Women in service industry, women in early childhood, women in law and enforcement, women in charity and volunteerism, women in communication and entertainment, women in small business and entrepreneurship. And then we have 2 special awards. That's the Prime Minister Legacy Award and the Disability Award, which is an empowerment award from the disability unit.
I wonder if Miss Henry is in there. I'm thinking of all kind of names,
Could we rename the Disability Award?
It's called an empowerment award.
An empowerment, yeah, but it's
they
just...
had the choice to...
Shady.
They chose their name of their own award.
They chose it?
Yes, they did. We had no involvement in that. Right.
Okay.
All we do is just support.
Okay, good stuff. Okay.
And then we have our 3 women who would be inducted. The first I think, is land surveying.
Okay.
And then we had the longest serving female inmate, who was a matron.
Okay.
And I think she was also the nurse of the prison.
Okay.
Yes. And then we had the first female jockey.
We had one of those?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
We have, of course.
Oh, she still is?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Still
okay.
is the first. So we have those 3, and that makes the 11 of them.
Oh, wow.
Yes, very excited.
Okay.
So anything you would have forgotten to add or say that you
I
need to
just
say?
maybe want to say thanks to our sponsors. I just want to say thanks to TDC. Hey, Dominic, I know you're listening. Horsfords, Avec, and the Public Works.
Oh, okay, nice.
Awesome.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you so much. So there we had it with the ministry departments within that ministry, Gender Affairs, Chanel Charles.
Okay, and remember to wear purple, green, or white on Friday. And remember to invest in women, accelerate their progress. Yes.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be. It's the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley got it all about the flavor. Shirley never let me down. When I lime it at the beach on the town, Shirley biscuits always feel like home.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be. It's the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley, the Caribbean's favorite biscuit.
Are you looking for a new dining experience to whet your appetite? Explore the flavors of the world at Pangea Multi-Cuisine Kitchen and Lounge. Our menu features Latin, Chinese, Mexican, and Indian cuisine with a local twist. The cozy and elegant ambiance provides the perfect backdrop for an unforgettable dining experience. Whether you're in the mood for a romantic night out, a family dinner, or a business lunch, our restaurant is the perfect place to discover new tastes and enjoy a delicious meal. Book your table at Pangea Multi-Cuisine Kitchen and Lounge today by calling us at 465-9100 or visit our website at ktcsvdm.com and our Facebook page at Pangea by KTCS Limited. We are located in the heart of Port Sante Bastille St. Kitts. Come and explore the flavors of the world.
And we're back, and we have our final moments on Island Tea this morning. You know, we have Money Matters right after Island Tea. And
Yeah, so you have to stay tuned for that.
So we are here discussing a number of matters. Before, I know, Michelina, you indicated a call for persons in the school, Sadler's Secondary School. You also indicated the
funeral of the deceased.
Well,
The funeral of the student is on Wednesday.
Wednesday,
just
yeah.
First, as a country, to show support to Sadler Secondary.
Okay. I don't think it's a bad thing that the teacher decided to cancel the sports, if that's what I can say.
I'm not sure if it's a bad thing or a good thing. I can't make the judgment.
Okay.
What I can say is that a whole school community is grieving, and we need to trust the leadership of the school to do what is best for the school.
Okay,
Because
understood.
everybody grieves differently and everybody deals with trauma differently. So as we are going about celebrating, as we are going about doing the things we do for our country, I just want us to remember Sadler Secondary, to remember the family of those two beautiful children that were lost. Remember the mother. In St. Kitts and Nevis, compassion generally goes one direction, just to the victim or who we perceive the victim. But just be a little compassionate to the women who are suffering as we celebrate the women who are victorious in the month. So
Yeah.
that's it for me. So it's International Women's Day. Do you have a shiro? Could we
Not.
name a shiro?
It's not it yet. It's Friday.
Well, okay, it's
Okay.
International Women's Month.
Okay,
It's
okay.
International
Uh-huh.
Women's Month. Do you have a shiro? A shiro, a woman that's a hero for you. A woman a local woman that's a hero for you.
A local woman? I don't know. I never. My mom? I don't know.
That's a safe one, Carty. That's always a safe like my mom. And nobody could get vexed with you because, like, that's your first hero.
Ah.
That is your first hero.
Do you have a shiro?
My shiro locally would be
Your mama?
She gets the trophy, and apparently she would be awarded. And me here saying on the People in Radio, me gonna invite, Lord forgive me.
Mommy will get you. Yeah, I have
a shiro for me actually would be Joyle's mommy, Miss Clark, Miss
okay.
Mary Clark. She taught me to be a teacher, and for that I am incredibly grateful. She taught me to care as a teacher. She taught me the value of community, and I think in a lot of ways she taught me that teaching is a practice that doesn't have to do so much with intelligence as it has to do with caring. When you care for the community, when you care for the child, you're going to do the work, or you're going to learn to do the work to get that child to be who they need to be. And so Miss Mary Clark is my education teacher hero.
Okay, mine would be Tony Frederick. I always said that she's her love and her light. She was a history teacher, but she not only taught us history, she taught us everything. She listened to you when you needed somebody to listen to, and she always gave great advice. Even in my adulthood, sometimes I say, Miss Frederick, I don't think, and she'd be like, yes, you can, and you're doing fine. Why are you stressing yourself? So yeah, Miss Frederick, Miss Tony Frederick.
So that's a woman in media.
My
My
favorite
woman
teacher.
in education. Who is your shiro, Azard?
Well, I would say, during the time of high school, we had a homeroom teacher. I wouldn't classify it shiro, but someone who was instrumental during the time of high school. I think when you look at Naima Hazel, when you look at, because she was our homeroom teacher for 5 years, the entire 5 years at the Washington Natural High School.
The influence of that.
Yeah, and she was able to take our class from farm to farm to farm to farm. And so a lot of the developmental time and being around her during that time and the way in which she, worked with the class through the different stages and changes, I think that was instrumental. I do credit other women, of course, for, development and stuff like that in my life and for the life of others. But when we think about it on the spot now, I think about
Ms. Hazel, Naima
I
Hazel.
also think about my aunt during the time who has passed. She was really a kind soul to me, and there's so many others that I could name.
I know there's so much, but for me, professionally, Miss Mary Clark has really influenced who I am professionally. I'm not sure she likes everything I has to say, but the love for education, and she would always say, Micheline, I want to retire. And I want to leave education in good hands. I'm not sure she trusts my hands, but she really intentionally worked on me, and she worked with me to make sure I was a teacher. And it took, I think I'm over 10 years in teaching, and I'm only now starting to feel like a teacher proper. Okay. She passed on the anointing, the mantle, and yeah, I think that was incredible. She didn't just, she wasn't just a principal. Sometimes when you have young principals and you have young, brilliant teachers, there's a competition or there's ego. She was not easy by any measure. Miss Mary Clark was not easy, but she was not intimidated. She just grew us up, and
So
graceful.
we gotta go, guys.
We gotta go.
We could go anywhere, but we can't stay
here. We hope you enjoyed this morning program.
Yes.
Same place, same time tomorrow. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. And have a great Monday. And see you tomorrow on Tuesday.
Island tea.